And we are live with Collegiate Karting League Friday night primetime. I am FIU's Tedbear, joined today by University of Western Georgia's Wisp. Wisp, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing fantastic, Ted Bear. I am excited to see this Division One match. This is going to be pretty interesting between Waterloo Water and University of Oklahoma, both pretty strong teams. So I'm really interested to see how it goes tonight.
I am too. And as we look at the lineups and the history of both teams, there's a lot of history actually between not just both teams individually, but themselves in CKL as well. Wisp, how about you give us some insight about that?
All right, so over here on the left, we got OU, University of Oklahoma. Starting off the lineup, we have Kai Kadesa, who is from Grounded Gaming, and so is Rumble. He's also from Grounded Gaming. They made it to semifinals this past week in MK Universal. And we have Rhino and Goldend, who are from MK University, which was in Division 9 this past season. And then we also have Dutch, who has no team history, and Marul, who has no team history, but he is a Iron 2 lounge player. So he does have some insight on the competitive league outside of just collegiate. And over here on Waterloo, we got some really strong players here. We have Spoons and Mordai, who have no team experience, but we got Ingite over here, probably just their star player, their ace player here, who was formerly on Eureka, which is the team led by Gyarados, and formerly on ZE for multiple seasons, which is a Division 1 team in MK Universal. We have Boss Yoshi, who is on U-Turn, which is in D11 finals this weekend. Iona, who is on Speedstars, also a MomoCon finalist for anyone that is in the land scene. And we also have Pickley, who is on Team LinkedIn, which is also in finals this weekend for Division 8. So very strong players we got here. There's just a lot of talent on both teams, and it's going to be a pretty tough fight between both teams. It'll be fun to watch.
I agree. I think this is going to be a great matchup. Oklahoma, obviously, we know a lot about them. They've competed in every CKL tournament so far, from season 1 to the side tournaments like Summer Switch Up. Waterloo, they're coming in mostly new. As you said, Spoons and Mordai, they don't really have a lot of 6v6 experience, but when you have players like Ingite, Boss Yoshi, and everyone else, it's just really insane. And here we go. We're going to get right into it.
Yeah, a lot of randoms here, which is interesting. But we see Piranha Plant Cove and Cloud Top for the tracks that are on there. Two pretty good tracks that are solid, in my opinion.
I agree. I think their key to victory here is you're going to have Ingite and Boss Yoshi and Iona and Pickley. They're going to be able to go and run, and they're going to be very strong, but they're going to have to shut that down. Conversely, I think Waterloo. Oh no, this is a this
This is
is
a
a
worldwide.
Worldwide. Never mind. We got
I
pumped,
really
ladies and
thought it was
gentlemen.
gonna. I'm about to say, yeah, I don't know how they're gonna have that top presence in Calamari Desert, but good luck to Rhino in his worldwide.
We love Rhino. On that point, I think Oklahoma, they're gonna have Waterloo's gonna have someone jump in, and they're gonna have someone out in the front, and they're gonna have to identify who that person is, whether it's Ingite, Boss Yoshi, Iona, or Pickley, and they're just gonna have to try and shut them down. And OU is really good at shutting top runners down. Conversely, with Waterloo, whoever gets the hot hand early, I think you just have to protect.
Yeah, the main thing that University of Oklahoma has over Waterloo is team synergy, which is a much bigger like difference than you think it is. Like just being able to navigate around your teammates better is really good because these guys have been playing, like you said, for like a while now, since season 1. So they know how to navigate each other. They know how to play around each other's stuff. So hopefully that comes like to their advantage to like take over Waterloo's like strong running ability.
Yes. Now, I've had the immense privilege to played both of these teams recently in Division 1 and Syllabus Week. University of Oklahoma, I got to play against them in Syllabus Week 2 when they made their second place run. I think, as we've said earlier, their ability to do team play is really, really good. But I think what kind of harms them is that they don't have a definitive runner. Obviously, you have Rhino and Goldend, who are immense talents, especially in Collegiate Karting League. But it's a little rare, not saying it's impossible, but it is a little rare for them to just straight up take over a match. But if they're able to shut down the top runners of the enemy team, it's very possible for them to do so.
Yeah, and
Now,
I will say it is going to be a bit more of a challenge for them when it's like if you got people like Ingai and Iona as the top runners for Waterloo, it is going to be a bit more of a challenge for them to do that. But I'm interested to see how they go about taking over the top spots.
it will be interesting to see if I may. I think we're probably going to see a lot of the very famous OU special from Oklahoma, but you can't discount Waterloo entirely. Obviously, their bottom two have a lot less experience than Oklahoma's, but when you look at someone like Ingite, who, as you said earlier, was on ZE, Pick Lee, Boss Yoshi, who are immensely strong, and Iona, who was the Season 1 CKL MVP as a member of Ontario United.
Have played against them.
Yep. There's a lot of, I feel, unfinished business with Iona. He wasn't able to defend his crown in Season 2, and now he's back with a vengeance, I'd say.
Yeah, very strong player. Got to play against him in Season 1 in semifinals. Very good player. And plus,
Very
just
strong.
like his run at MomoCon was insane for anyone that went to MomoCon, which I know a lot of the OU people did and got to meet a few of them.
That's awesome.
Strong player. Yeah, he's coming back for more, I guess, in this season of CKL. So that is awesome to see.
It is indeed great, and obviously, Pickley, Spoons, Mordai, Ingite, Boss Yoshi, not much experience outside or inside CKL, I should say, but obviously they have great experience in MKU otherwise. This is going to be a very interesting matchup. I'd say probably the yin and yang of the two main play styles of CKL, where you have the very top heavy lineup versus the balanced lineup. OU famously, second place D3 Season 1. They made a really strong run, third place syllabus week 1. Finished just outside the playoff bubble in Season 2 CKL, and of course that second place finish in syllabus week 2. I think they're kind of the epitome of that CKL team-oriented synergized cart, whereas Waterloo is a very, very top-heavy. I believe Mordai actually in a scrim had dropped 12 points before, meaning they had gotten last place on every single race. We'll see if that repeats, but of course, when you have that top four that strong, it could make up that lack of points by the 6-man. So it's going to be very interesting to see kind of the extreme ends, I'd say, of both play styles you would see in CKL. Main play styles.
Yep, and here we go into race 1. We're going to see an OU's POV here, starting off with Sunshine Airport and Waterloo picking a rather skill diff track, that being Ribbon Road. This track is definitely a skill track. I mean, the wavy section, the blue wavy section, about halfway through the track is very trivial for a lot of players. So if you just have some people that are just like very, very good at Ribbon Road, it's like that can just be a make or break part for a lot of people.
Yeah, especially, I'm curious to see how much they've trained their lesser experienced players in the way of these tracks. I would say, especially having played against them, that the lower end of Waterloo's, I guess, lineup, they're very eager to improve and more eager to play and get better. So it's going to be interesting as we start here on Ribbon Road, actually.
Yeah. The skill diff track. We'll see what happens here. I mean, this is Waterloo's pick, so I'm expecting a really good performance from them on this track. Really interested to see how it goes.
We're going to start here with Oklahoma's Rhino's point of view. Oklahoma red, Waterloo white Yoshi. We do see starting out here very early on, we see at least 2, maybe 3 players of Waterloo in the back. Rhino having to burn the shroom to get out of the rough patch, but having a pretty nice lead in 1. We see Iona and I believe Boss Yoshi behind him in 2 and 3.
Yeah. Also, Rhino choosing to not trick on the blue parts just so he has a more stable line going into the shortcuts here. And that right there, those shortcuts are the reason why this is a skill diff track. Because if you're not able to consistently make those, you can lose a bit of ground. As you see Rhino all the way down to 8th place. But it looks like Waterloo does have bottom 3, keeping that back presence there. I mean, hey, this could be big for them. Maybe they could pull a lucrative shock or something. We'll see what happens. See few people stopping at set, and Ingite back here as well, which is pretty interesting.
And that's a top 3 right now for Oklahoma. I know Rumble's up there, and if I'd had to guess, probably Goldend and Dutch right beside him. We do see a star in pocket for Rhino. He chains it into set, activates the smart steering. Very good play. Pulls a blue shell in pocket. His teammate is in 1. No, however, it looks like maybe a Waterloo player's cutting up.
Yeah, he might be able to throw it soon. Looks like they're... Oh, and he is chucking the blue, knowing that Waterloo is going to cut up as his star just runs out. Maybe he can dodge the blue, and he does. And it looks like we got Rhino coming into the last lap here, having to just got to make some last-second shortcuts to see if he can gain some ground. But it looks like Waterloo is starting to make a little bit of a break in first place.
Yep, but OU controlling that 2-3 spot. It looks like, at least that 2-4, very strong, very expected of them, I might say even. It looks like maybe the Waterloo player got hit out in 1 there, unless we have a bit of lag. This might end up being an Oklahoma top
Rhino has fire here, backing it, watching out for the bomb on the shortcut, killing a few of the Oklahoma people. But I think that's a Waterloo 1-3 right there.
Rumble getting a top spot there. Gold. Oh no, Dutch. Never mind, not Rumble. Dutch getting 2nd place. Very strong. A 1-3 for Waterloo to start out. And I believe Oklahoma got most of the mid spots as well, that track. Yep, only a -4 for Oklahoma. A decent start for them.
Yeah. Especially since this is probably not one of their tracks, and they definitely weren't in the spots for it. They were actually able to hold that together really well. As you can see now, we have Waterloo's POV. Gonna try to look for a runner here for that are 1-3 spots here. Probably see some tracks like Boo Lake or DK Jungle being picked up. We're going to 3DS Rainbow Road versus Weibo. Both of the Booster Course Pass Rainbow Roads here.
Very interesting to see. Weibo, of course, a very strong runner. Weibo, a nice reset / mid-pack track. I will say, I do believe Oklahoma's pretty strong on Weibo, but with personal experience, I would say Waterloo as well is quite strong. Hey, we're going to go to Rainbow Road 7, however, so we'll see how it plays out in race 2.
I think this is more of a stronger runner track, mainly because in comparison to Weibo, as Rainbow Road has quite a few bill extensions that are quite useful, where this track kind of lacks in that. So we'll see how OU is able to take over some spots here.
Switching here to Ingite's point of view for race 2. He has a Shroom in 9th place. Doing some nice ramp strats here, catching up. Cut up into 6th. Bosch trailing a red there, and it looks like 4th place.
Yeah, but here we are at the laggy turn.
Yep. Some players looking like they're getting bumped out. We see Iona up there as well. Rumble contesting. Falls off the map. We'll see if it's lag in a second. But right now, it looks like it might be... Oh, yep, there's Rumble. With the horn.
In there. Yeah, he has to be careful not to spam his Shroom and kill his mates with his triple greens. But sadly, they got ghosted, which is really unfortunate. Oh, and there's
right behind him, too.
Greens. Yeah, really got to be careful. Not a very optimal spot to be in. Golden could really murder him on this glider ramp, but Ingite just has to be careful around this triple greens.
Yep, start behind them, pulls a blue. His teammate is in 1, though, so he can't throw it just yet.
Unless their first place spot is able to, like, you know, get some kind of Shroom or some kind of horn, but it looks like Ingite's just getting kind of killed back here, getting redded in 10th or 11th. It's just rough.
The curse of holding blue.
But I mean, it's a very necessary role, and it does allow their top 2 to have as much of a break as they do.
We cut back here to Rhino, not able to trail his red in time for protection. Does have a star in pocket, though. His teammates right in front of him, though, unable to throw the red. Surprisingly, doesn't back it there against Mordai, I believe. Yes. Blue shell is out. We'll see what happens here.
Can make up any more spots, but
Maroon
Rhino
gets hit
is
out.
Ooh. Rhino trying to clutch out some last-second spots, but gets hit by the bill.
And a shot comes out. I think it's mostly OU mid spots, though.
Yeah, there's the Waterloo top 2 there. Looks like a pretty good race for Waterloo.
Top 2-5, very nice to bounce out. I believe they're bottom 2. Oklahoma grabbing most of those mid spots. Their signature.
OU special.
Now, a -8 for OU. Not ideal, but not terrible, I'd say.
Yeah.
Going straight to Koopa Cape, right for their mid spots.
There it is,
I agree with this pick a lot.
And Waterloo going with Hyrule Circuit, which is a great top 2-5 track. This track is really good because it's like you can skill diff on this track, but Hyrule also surprisingly has a lot of comeback potential in the last few turns after the Nisk. So it is actually really good for the bottom spots as well.
Especially, maybe this is just anecdotal, Wisp, but especially if you pull lap 3 shock on Hyrule, I feel like that might be an instant gain or an instant win.
Yeah, if you're able to dodge a few people and like stars, and they can just take like the last few turns extremely tight, cutting off that bit of off-road, saves so much more time than you think. It's crazy. So we'll see if, Waterloo's going to be able to take advantage of those bottom spots that they have to make a play like that, which could be huge for their team. But they are starting out in top 3, and Rhino getting redded in the glider.
It's immediately redded. Dropping down to 11th place here. Not the end of the world. Of course, he's gonna be in a position to pull the stronger items as we cut here to Ingite in 3rd place. His teammates right in front of him in top 2. Very nice top 3 overall right now for Waterloo. He's got a fire, can't back it.
There is Boss Yoshi behind him. Yeah, but I mean, Boss Yoshi is kind of like surrounded by OU people in the mid pack there, but Ingite could really just light these people up with the fire. But I mean, with Boss Yoshi right there, that could be a little risky as it gets ghosted.
Yep, thankfully his teammate is right behind him, or at least was. It looks like someone from Oklahoma's cut up just a tiny bit, but this is now coming up a really big break in 1 and 2. But there's the shock from Oklahoma. Yeah, I believe it's from Oklahoma with the dodge.
Yeah, but I mean, you got to be careful. There could be another shock. It's not impossible. We could see another one with how far back we have one of the Waterloo players. Really, I mean, maybe he's trying to go for shock. We'll see what happens here. But with how far back he is, I wouldn't be surprised if there was another shock or if he's just holding blue.
Yep, and even with that shock was kind of pretty fast. It looks like it only dodged one Oklahoma player, and as a result, Waterloo's able to maintain their top 3 for the moment. Ingite pulls triple bananas, has to slow down just a bit to not hit out his teammates, but you can see him still maintain those really good lines. Drops it, accidentally, looks like he gets hit out. Thankfully has the shroom to be able to cut up. And it looks like this is going to be a pretty easy top 3 for Waterloo to start.
Yeah, guaranteed gain for Waterloo here. Nice run with the top 3 there.
Yes, very strong, I'd say. Golden tried to cut up there at the end along with Rhino, but Pickley and Iona just had too much of a break. Ingite able to protect them. Nice gain for Waterloo as now they pull ahead with a 26-point lead.
Yeah, that is big stuff for them. That's the kind of race they needed to really just start making a break in the point differential. And now they can go for a pretty strong runner here because top 3 is just way more powerful than people think. Really hard to break up a top 3 like that, so we'll see how it goes. Looks like we have OU going with Koopa Cape, and looks like we got Waterloo going with Weibo here again. Weibo is a runner, but it does have multiple bill extensions, which does make a lot of sense for the bottom spots they have, and that top 3 is going to be able to solidify those running positions and just maintain that top presence. But yeah, OU's pick here, also really good for all of the mid spots they had because Koopa Cape does have the very infamous shroom cut that you can take in the water section.
It does indeed, and Waterloo picking Weibo, a little bit of a strange track, not going to matter too much as we are going to Koopa Cape instead. We'll see how this plays out, but as it stands right now, it looks like Iona and Pickley are those top spots that Oklahoma has to find a way to hit out and shut down. The hot hands, you can say.
I feel like we're going to see a lot of OU taking over the top spots, like about halfway through lap 1 here. And then it's all a matter of like pulling a blue, because I feel like every time I play this track, there's always going to be a blue with the amount of breaks you can get right at the start.
Yep, and it looks like Iona gets hit out pretty early there, dropping down. Rhino and some of his teammates there in 2-3, 3-4. Ingite pulling ahead just a bit. Rhino hits the item block, gets into the rough just a tiny bit, dropping down with Marul, and I believe...
Looks like Bosco was able to shroom up in one very easily. And
what a devious bomb drop. Killing out all of Oklahoma, it seems.
Man aside from Gold End.
Yep, and that's now a big top 3 break, it looks like, right now for Waterloo.
Yeah, that turned in from an easy shroom up for Oklahoma right into just a runner for Waterloo. That bomb was lucrative for them. Massive bomb.
You do see 2 Waterloo players in the back. Might be holding blue, possibly even Shock. We will see. But right now, if I'm Oklahoma, I'd say I'd send someone back down there to try and pull Shock. No, we do see a blue shell thrown. Might have come from a Waterloo player, though, so they might have, a dodge there in one. We'll see.
Yeah, looks like they were able to hold the blue.
Very great play there by Waterloo.
Oh, and another bomb, but the iframes just barely saved him.
Oh, and he gets hit by the banana. Very unfortunate. Yeah. Getting Mario Karted, as we say.
Rhino.
Okay, good pulls, though, in 11. Especially if they can pull Shock.
Top 3 from Waterloo is just gone right now.
Yeah, they definitely need to pull something here. Blue shell in pocket behind Bullet Bill, though.
Yeah, Rhino's got to find a place to use this Bullet Bill fast. He's got to get that blue out.
Mordai, never mind. Bullet billing up behind him. Here we go. He uses it on the cut. I don't think blue will be a big factor coming into the end of the race.
We'll see
with a lot of tops by Waterloo. It might end up hitting their second or third. We will see right here.
But it looks like that might be a top 4 from Waterloo. That is a lot of top spots.
Yeah, that is
top 5.
That is a very strong result from Waterloo right there. I must say, my goodness.
That is rough for OU. That is a big race for Waterloo right there.
Yep, and now we're gonna see quite a bigger deficit from Oklahoma's side going down there. 137 to 191. It's not the end of the world just yet. There's still a lot of card to be played. Right now, you gotta be able to shake it off, and you have to be able to reset yourself, especially mentally. You can't let these top spots and especially that top 5. You can't let it get to you.
Yeah, OU is gonna need some sort of resetter here because they need to get all of these people out of the top spots. They need some sort of really hard bagger, or they just need to go Trainbow here. I think that is probably the best option for them. They're going Snowland. Yep, pretty strong bagger.
And a Warrior Stadium pick for Waterloo. Very typical, I'd say.
Very strong skill track, strong runner. This is a track. If you know it, you can run away. And with people like Ingite who have been playing this game for a hot minute, Wario Stadium's big for them, but it looks like we are going to Snowland, which this could honestly go either way just because of its bagging potential. It's just who can pull the better items, and if Shock happens, which it probably will, who can, utilize Shock better.
It'll be interesting to see if Rhino can pull his shroom here early. I'd say he's one of OU's strongest runners, but we see him dropping actually a little bit, not as hard as one of his teammates back there.
We also see Iona down here, which is pretty interesting. And another Waterloo player, yeah. I think Waterloo's doing 3 and 3 right now. 3 run, 3 bag.
Yep, very, very balanced, I would say. Oklahoma sending at least 2 people back there trying to pull. One of them is Rumble, the Red Birdo. We'll see how it plays out.
I think we have
Rhino holding the star. Let's see if he chains it in a set.
Probably
he does
will.
Indeed.
Yep. I feel like Rhino's goal right now, where he is to try to pull a dodge and run it up as many spots as he can, and then just having OU's other bottom spots try to pull Shock and see if he can dodge it. But obviously, having a golden here is kind of rough. He needs to get rid of this as soon as possible, probably on the cut. As talking about the cut, we just see Ingite.
Third place Shock dodge. Must have been either that was a really smart, intuitive play by Ingite, or that was a coordinated Shock dodge into second place. Either way, phenomenal play as he crushes Dutch there into a clear 1 with a shroom in pocket.
That is like the optimal pull for this track right here. You're probably going to see him maybe get rid of the green and cut up here. I mean, That's what I would do. Yep, there he is. He's
Here
going to
it
cut
is.
up.
Hits
And
the
now
cut perfectly.
look at
Avoids
that
the
break
penguin.
coming into the last
top
lap.
4 again right now.
That was just
Waterloo.
big. That shock dodge for Ingite was just massive for Waterloo. It's so hard for Oklahoma to recover after a third place shock dodge.
Yeah, very strong here. We do see an Oklahoma player in second, though, quite a far away from second. But we got a dodge, and Rumble's gonna dodge actually in third. Another third place dodge. This is not gonna be the result Waterloo was wanting. That's gonna be at least a 2-3 or maybe a 2-4 from Oklahoma. A third shock.
Lap 4 shock.
Wow, and yeah, look at that. A 2-3.
We're able to make up some spots, but that first from Ingite was insane. And also see Iona with 60 points right now after the first GP. Not first GP, first half.
After 5. Still
after 5. Oh, okay.
Still a very strong performance, I believe. Or after 5 or after 6. Yeah, I believe that was the 6th race. I believe we're going into we're going into race 6 right now. Waterloo very firmly in the driver's seat, I would say.
Yeah, that was a really after a Koopa Cape and after a pretty solid Snowland, this definitely puts them in a really good position here. We'll see what OU tries to go for. I mean, if I'm in their position, I'm just gonna go for just resetters or baggers, just because. Or DK Mountain works as well.
And really DK Jungle, a very strong runner, I'd say, especially for Ingite up there.
Yeah, DK Jungle's a really good base game runner. And then we see DK Mountain, which is a really good, I guess you could say, kind of resetter, but also a skill diff track if you know how to play it well. Looks like we do see us going over to DK Jungle here, which, I mean, again, base game track, lots of skill required for it. Definitely right up Ingite's alley. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see Ingite with a massive break in one here.
Yep. At the same time, though, I wouldn't be surprised if OU's able to hit them out and maybe be able to maintain a first place here. We will see how it goes.
Oh, we see a burnout from Oklahoma there, which is rough. A rough start.
Yeah, but we do have Rhino and Taika up here pulling shrooms as well. Hitting the super bounce and having a shroom is really strong right here. Especially as it looks like Iona and Ingite don't have any defense items. So this might be a clear cut into one here for Rhino and maybe Taika. Yep, here it is.
Yep. Oh, gotta watch out for the trail.
Yep. Oh, he gets trailed out by Ingite. The lag. Oh, brutal trail.
And there it is. You can see on the mini-map, the top 2 is starting to make a break. OU, they need bottom presence. They need to keep an eye on the back. They need to make sure that there is a shock that benefits them, because that is going to be the best way for them to take over Waterloo's insane top presence. As we see Rhino stopping here, trying to stay in the back and see what's going on here. And Waterloo already has that bottom presence.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they're holding firmly 12th and 11th place, I think, in the ideal position to pull shock here. It's kind of interesting. It looks like no one from OU's end is kind of slowing down, trying to pull. They're trying to run and get up the spots. And with how close the pack is now, that lead from the top 3 kind of evaporated just a tiny bit. No, right now it's a top 4. They were in Ghost. Waterloo was in Ghost. It looks like a top 3 at the moment.
Yeah, they just
Rhino pulls a gold shroom. Red in pocket. Pickley right in front of him. We'll be able to throw it. Nope, now Dutch is behind.
It looks like that might be a top 5 right now from Waterloo currently. Oh, no. Well, no, it's not. It's a top 4 still, because Dutch is right in front of him. But yeah, top 2 just has this break. It is going to be tough. OU needs good items now. There's the blue shell. Maybe they can make something happen.
A dodge in 6. This could be big if they can pull shock.
Yep, getting into that Ghost. Are we going to see the shock?
By the red. I don't think shock's in play, but a smart Ghost by Rumble to at least protect himself. As he's going to shroom up
dodging
here.
The greens. This will be a top 3. Top 5 from Waterloo.
Yep, Rhino did at least break the top 4.
True. Rhino was able to crack into the top spots, but again, Ingite and Iona, they just have these uncontested top spots.
Yeah, that's not. If you're a Waterloo fan, this is going great for you right now.
This is your match,
if you're cheering for OU, I would still say it's doable for them.
Yeah,
no war is truly unwinnable
true.
until it becomes mathematically impossible. We're
Yeah,
not at that point yet. And knowing what Oklahoma's been able to pull out in the past, I wouldn't be surprised to see kind of a big dramatic comeback.
I guess something that Oklahoma also needs is they need track luck on their side. Like they just need their tracks because I'm like we're seeing a skill diff track like Wario Stadium versus a track that has a lot of shroom cuts and comeback potential like Rome. They just this is where they just need Rome to start making a comeback. And it looks like we might be going to Rome here. Nope. We are going to Wario Stadium.
Wario Stadium, another track pick for Waterloo.
Waterloo is like they're getting the skill tracks that are just like perfect for their spots. So it's like Oklahoma, they just need shock, I think. Like they just need shock.
We'll see if they'll be able to pull it. It's so far, at least from what I've observed outside of Snowland, where they had some dedicated baggers, is Oklahoma doesn't have anyone that's dropping out to bag. Possibly a little uncharacteristic of them. We're going to see Inguide, Iona, of course, do their phenomenal lines, their phenomenal tech skill coming into play here as they maintain first and second. But we do see, I believe that's Gold End and Rumble right behind them in 3-4.
Yeah, it looks like currently it's 3-3 for for Waterloo here. We have 3 people running and 3 people in the back. Honestly, it's just like they have 3 people that can like consistently just keep these top spots here, but they also have people in the back patrolling what OU is trying to do to take over their top spots. It's just such a good position for Waterloo here.
As we transition here to Rhino in the mid-pack, surrounded by his teammate Marul, Boss right behind. Rumble and Marul getting hit out there. I think that's a top 3 right now for Waterloo. Another top 3. Rumble right there, though. Pulls a shrimp. Oh, he's going to line fail on the wall. Unfortunately.
He's trying to make that into a top 4 for Waterloo, but I know it's just
the fire, too.
When
it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
Blue shell's out, though.
True, but I mean, again, this like what I said earlier, this is a skill diff track, and we are seeing it right now. The top 2 break is insane, but again, Rhino has triple res in pocket, but he's just surrounded by his teammates, where it's like triple res just isn't what you want right now.
Yep, and slowing down a bit, going for the suicide here.
Has a dodge.
Has to pop it though. Gold shroom in pocket. Red shell from the ghost. Doesn't look like they have shock though.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to really slow down here. Unable. Spoons takes the box from Rhino. What a great play by Spoons there.
Yeah.
Prevent him from possibly pulling something.
And then Rhino
he'll eat the red. But the potential of OU pulling shock being stopped by Spoons, that's a great play.
And that's already a top 2 for Waterloo. They are done. They made the top 2, and OU just has to try to scavenge as many spots as they can get at the very end. Looks like we are going to see a 3-4, maybe a 3-4-5 from OU.
We do get a bottom 2 from Waterloo, though. Oof. That's that top 2 immense. It looks like right now, Waterloo playing to their strengths. Their tops are running really, really hard. Oklahoma is just, they're having trouble breaking into those top spots. I did say earlier that if there was a way for Oklahoma to lose, it would just be unable to break the top spots.
Yeah.
Right now, Waterloo very firmly in the driver's seat now.
Yeah, and we're just trying to see like OU's picking tracks like Rome that has a lot of cuts, Madrid that has a lot of cuts, like the cut and the glider on lap 2, just some small ending cuts at the end of lap 3. It's like they just need tracks that have good comeback potential, and tracks like Wario Stadium just aren't good for that. But luckily, they are getting Madrid here, their track pick, so we'll see if they can take advantage of it. They're finally getting what they need, and maybe this is what they need to start maybe making this match, like making up their points.
And it's still doable. I want to point it out. It's still doable, and a good race here on Madrid can very much swing the start.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they're able to make up something here, because there are a lot of cuts where it is easy to take over the top spot. So again, it's not impossible for them to make a good comeback, and this is the track to do it on. So we'll see how it goes. We see OU does have some shrooms in the mid pack to take the shroom cut. Some of them
Rumble
dying.
getting hit out there. Yep.
Yeah, and all of the Waterloo players in front of them, no mushrooms in sight, but some of them are taking Nisk. But see, OU's starting to break into the top spots. They have everything behind first. Ooh, in the green.
I like the aggressive play. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out. But when you have their top spots dominating you so far, like what's been happening, you have to be aggressive.
You have to find a way just to bust into the spots. Yeah, and the triple Nana's getting ghosted is rough. And blue is already out. That is a very early blue.
It's drive-by by the ghost bananas. Rhino dropping down here, slowing down, it looks like, into the set, maybe trying to pull something. We're going to cut here to Engite. Gold End in front of him in 2, but he has his teammate Pickley in first. Pulls a green shell into red. Gold End, very smart here, trailing the red for protection. Going for the cut. Neither of them unable to do the shroom cut. Engite does miss the trick on the water gazer.
Well, but looks like Gold End was able to take the cut, because we see him kind of contesting it up there with Pickley on the minimap. And he is in first.
Indeed, and Engite's going to get hit out here a bunch. That we see a very firm 12th place by Waterloo, but it looks like Engite could end up maybe getting 11. Spoons back here as well. Taikadesa getting hit out by Spoons. Rumble right there as well, slowing down. Spots are just all over the place. As Backed Fire comes into play too, hating out Engite.
Looks like a lot of Waterloo players are in the back. Yeah, they're just making their comeback right here, but some of them are dying, but it looks like it is being contested up there on the front, but we'll see if they're able to hold the top spots.
And it looks like Rhino's able to die there at the top. Iona getting hit by the boomerang coming back. It looks like the blue shell targeting first. Yep, that's very strong. It's a start. It's a very good start.
Yeah, they were able to Gold End, like I said earlier. Boss Yoshi getting first. But again, OU was able to break into the top spots due to the shortcut potential on this track, this is the kind of stuff they need. And this is kind of the start that they're able to break into the top spots. They just need more tracks that have the ability to do that, and they can start slowly but surely making this point differential even closer.
Especially now, going into the final GP, the final period of the match, the final quarter. Oklahoma's going to need a big race. They need it now. They're going to go Roma Vanti, what they've been trying to pull the last few races.
Rome would be another track similar to Madrid, but I think with what they're trying to do with all the shortcuts at the end, I feel like Rome works a little better for it. Especially with even just the tiny corner cut around the lamppost on the final turn. That makes so much more of a difference than you think it does. It's crazy. And looks like they are getting it.
They're getting their track pick. If they can have a strong race here, we definitely have a match.
And I wouldn't be surprised if this is the track where they're able to make something happen on. They can definitely do it. I mean, if they were able to start cracking into the top spots in lap 3 of Madrid, this track, I think they can do it even better on.
Especially with Golden and Dutch right there to start. Sure, you do have Boss and Engite high up, but when you're able to at least contest and be up there at the start, which they've been struggling with so far this war, that's a very good sign. Golden going to go for the immediate trail. Engite slowing down just a bit with a brake drift to avoid getting trailed out. Very smart play. You could see that high div experience coming out there.
Ooh, looks like a lot of Waterloo is able to, take care of these top spots. And we see Engite dying to the triple Nanas here, saving his shroom for the shortcut up here. Let's see, OU has an early, top presence on the minimap. There's just so much red in the top spots.
Crazy, and they also have some bottom spots to be able to watch for shock, maybe even pull it. Especially if they could pull blue, that could be strong. Guaranteeing that you could at least have a top spot up there. Engite breaking the red on the wall here to get a fresh pull from the double. Boss and Mordai right beside him, spamming the golden. It looks like Rumble and another OU player back there as well. He's going to be able to change. No, he's going to pull. He's going to go into the single set, holding the star to try and pull something better. Only gets a plant. Not the end of the world, but we do see a blue shell out by a Waterloo player in the back there. This could be a big swing. Let's see what happens.
Top 2 has a break, though. I mean, maybe they have a dodge, maybe they don't, but it's not looking...
It looks like they did. Looks like they did. They're going to hold on to that top 2. Very crucial right now. Especially as Waterloo has, it looks like 3 through 7. Oh,
with
what a
the bomb!
bomb! What a bomb as
Wait,
Golden gets hit by
I
the
know
red,
Golden's
but a
like
strong
right
bomb.
behind him. Yeah, they have, I think it's top 2. Oh, almost top 3 from
Oh,
Oklahoma. There's
oh, we have
another
3-4
blue.
from Waterloo. Taikadesa gets hit out, unfortunately, by Ingite. They're not gonna be able
Are
to
we gonna
break
see an
into the
Oklahoma
top.
top 2?
I believe we are. We might even get an Oklahoma
Hold
top.
on.
Oh!
No, wait, they got even more top spots. Hold up, hold up. This is what they needed. This is what they needed.
That's exactly
Oh
what they
my
needed. Oh, 1,
gosh.
2, 4, 5, 6, 9, bottom 3 from Waterloo. That's
This
the
is what
race
they
you
needed.
need.
That's what they
the race
needed.
you need.
Like I said, this is the track with the comeback potential, and they were able to take advantage of it. That is what they needed, and they have it now. They are starting to get a grasp on the match, and they are starting to bring the point differential even more into their favor. And hey, maybe we can see it, maybe make it happen. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. And I gotta say as well, I think for Oklahoma, I think you gotta be aggressive here. You can't go something conservative. Maybe trying to hold on to that 1-2. You gotta swing big. There's only three races left, I believe. You gotta go for it. You have to keep not just your foot on the gas, but you gotta slam that gas pedal down. We do see here Mario Kart Stadium as a reset for Waterloo, along with a Cheese Land. Interesting picks. Oh, Rock, this is... Oh, if there was a single map in the game, maybe worse than Cheeseland for maintaining top spots, it's Rock. What a clutch track pull from Waterloo at the right time.
I mean, again, this is a resetter, so I mean, this could also work from Oklahoma if they are able to outbag them, you could say. I mean, who knows?
You can't let the terrible track pick for your side get to you. You just have to throw it away. You have to be able to mentally reset. You have to be able to hold on to that mentality of getting the top spot no matter what. You can't tilt off of it. And right now we see Rhino, Rumble, and another player for OU back here as well, along with some Waterloo.
3 and 3 for this. 3 runners, 3 backers.
From both teams, it looks like as well. Rhino pulling a bullet bill in pocket.
Early bill.
Yeah,
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a pretty early shock here as well. He's definitely using these triple shooms to hide the fact that he has the bill. So,
oh, there's the shock.
There's the early shock
from Waterloo as well, getting rid of that bullet bill.
Yeah.
Incredible pull on their end.
Yeah,
right now we have a top 2 for Waterloo.
Yeah, but again, it is 2 laps left of Rock Mountain, so it's like I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there were 3 shocks on this shock. I can't lie. Like, I would not be surprised if that happened.
We did see 3 shocks on Snowland lap 3. Could be something similar here. I mean, Rhino holding onto the gold shroom for the cut, not going to chain.
Yeah.
With the star in pocket. I don't believe OU even has shock right now because I think Rhino would have started spamming his gold earlier just to have the star out, going through the gold on the cut, slowing down just a bit to be able to pull from the second set. Rumble back here as well, triple shrooms. Right now, Waterloo has top 2, 4.
He has a crazy 8-star that he's using in 4th place.
With triple mushrooms to boot.
Yeah, OU is gonna need, they need shock now.
They need a miracle right here.
This is where they need shock. I mean, they have the bottom presence to do it. They just gotta pull it. Ingite is cutting up here. But, he's got to use his mushrooms fast.
The red. There's the shock! He gets shocked in the set, though, and he pulls a mushroom in second!
Blue. Shock. Oh, he's dropping out so he can dodge the blue.
Yep.
No, he's not.
Iona's gonna take it! That's gonna be a 1, though. That's gonna be a guaranteed 1. I think a 1-3. Yeah, it looks like a 2, maybe bottom 2, bottom 3 for Oklahoma there at the end. Yep, bottom 2.
Iona was able to dodge the blue.
They do get the 4, 5, 6, 7 though, but it might be a little too late. Yep, 80-point difference going into race 11. They need 2 top 6s, I believe, to send this game to tie the game. Yoshi's Island out here for Oklahoma. Wildwoods for
What's a pretty
Waterloo.
solid runner track. I
Mm-hmm.
do enjoy it. It is pretty solid. And then Yoshi Island is also a track you just don't see often in competitive play. So this might be, again, one of their, I guess, aces up their sleeve, just because you don't see this track often.
Not at all.
And it looks like we will be going over the Wild Woods.
A very common theme this war. It looks like Waterloo just pulling all the tracks they need, even with Mordai getting 20, even with Spoons at a 43. 80-point lead going into race 11.
Their top spots are just so dominant.
I think barring a repick, I think all Oklahoma could do is go for the tie here. We'll see how it plays out, though. The tie is possible, and it will definitely help them out, especially starting down 0-1. Rhino's going to get trailed here at the start, unable to get the double item box as Golden takes it. But he's still able to maintain a mid-spot presence there with 6. Dutch right in front of him in 5th. Another teammate right there. Oklahoma solidly in the mid-pack, it seems.
Looks like... Did Oklahoma have a DC, or is he lap trolling? Or if that's just a break. I'm really unsure. They have someone all the way back there.
It looks like... Oh, we got some fire back by Rhino. Avoids getting hit by Spoons' bill. Unfortunately falls off the track.
Oh, he's lap trolling them. OU is having someone lap troll. That is...
Interesting.
Really interesting.
Especially when you need the top to pull, but let's see. Maybe this has been something they've been practicing.
Maybe it works. Maybe it does.
Oh, but a crazy 8 by Boss. Gonna hit out Rhino into the bomb. When it rains, right it pours. As we cut here to Ngai in top 2. In lap 3, Pickley right in front. Iona right behind him. It looks like right now a very strong Waterloo finish here. And he hits out the lap troller as well. Shock does come out. We do see some Oklahoma dodges.
Ooh, and the ghost
boot takes the shroom. And guy's going to be right there. Pickley's going to be...
looks like a really good race for Waterloo here.
Yep, that's going to guarantee their victory, I believe.
Yep. Yeah, I don't think OU just can't get a big enough loss, especially with the Waterloo getting top 2. I think this secures a win for Waterloo. So I guess it's just free pick last race then.
Top 3, that definitely secures. If you're OU, though, you got to play for the point differential. That could definitely come into play very, very strongly.
Yes, it can.
Down the line,
more than people
during
think.
the season.
They just, even though they have already lost, they still have to try for one last race to try to, like, bring it in as close as they can, because sometimes you can just get some stinker wars, and it's like, dang, we weren't able to make it because of the point differential. And if they can make that smaller, hey, it could work.
Yep. And, a loss on primetime, especially a big loss, it's not the end of the world. I'm going to bring up University of Nebraska versus Morgan State University from Season 2. Morgan State on primetime just smacked around UNL. I believe they got a 160-point victory. They got top 3. It was just overall a disaster class on Nebraska's end, but Nebraska kept their head down. They kept working, and come playoff time, they were able to pull off the 2-1 victory against Morgan State in playoffs. So a bad loss on primetime is not the end of the world. We're going to see a Dragon Driftway come out.
And this is a track
that Oklahoma has been practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely want to get some experience with it in a war, it looks like.
So maybe the practice will pay off. Maybe this will work for them. But again, we'll see if they can take over the top spots, because this is a pretty good runner if you know how to drive it well. And Waterloo just has the top spot, so we'll see what Oklahoma can do with this. We'll see if they can bring the point differential closer, or I don't know. We'll just see what happens here.
Mm-hmm. Rhino pulling the shrooms, decides to just go for the grass cut. Very safe, very smart. One of his teammates there looks like it's head out. Golden's able to cut
Golden
up.
and Rhino are
Rhino
both up here.
has 3 shrooms and 1 though. That's really good.
He needs Golden to defend him with his life right now. And again, that's a lot of Oklahoma in the top spots. Just saying. And Rhino's starting to get a break. He needs to hold on to these shrooms. I mean, if I were him, I wouldn't be using either one of these because, hey, your first shroom could get ghosted when Blue's coming. I mean, you know, just having the second one is very nice here. Going for Nisk here. Does he make it? He does.
It does bonk the wall, but that's fine. He does have a teammate there in second. Even though it looks like they might... No, I think they just lagged out on the cut. Yep, there it is. They still have top 2, 4. Top 2, 4, 5.
6.
Yep, and especially with the shrooms, Rhino just gets a free run. Elects not to use it.
Oh, there's
very
the blue.
Smart as the blue comes out, actually. That's a very smart play.
Yeah, if your first
looks like that was an
ghosted,
Oklahoma blue as well,
one.
if I had to guess.
Yeah, and looks like there is no ghost. So he just has another shroom for the shortcut at the end.
However, it looks like Ingite's in second now.
Yeah, so it's like you do have to be careful that he is right there.
Oh, and he bonks the wall. He's forced to burn the shroom to protect himself. Bonks the wall again with
no
the coin.
Defense. Gotta hope for no double reds here.
Ingite didn't. No, he does pull the red.
Oh, that bites.
Unfortunate. They will at least have 2-3. It looks like, barring another major cut up. Rhino outlining his teammate. We see a star in the peripheral, but it's a 2-3-4-5 potentially for Oklahoma. Everything after 1. Unfortunate loss to the top spot there.
Yeah, it was just a rough Nisk. It's just it cost him so much time, but I mean, again, Ingite had double reds, so it was like I feel like either way. I think Rhino was just cooked there. Just the double reds just cancels out everything. Yeah, which is just unfortunate.
Incredible performance by the top 4 of Waterloo there. 134, 128, 102, 97. That is incredible.
Yeah, insane talent on that team.
Yep. Very good performance.
We saw some ups and downs in that war, and it was definitely a very entertaining match to watch. I mean, it was like you could see Waterloo just like they would make a break on something, and it's like it was just insane to watch that happen. But you would also see stuff like what happened on Rome, and just seeing how OU can just like they know how to make the comeback happen. They know they can do it. They were able to show it on Rome, and they were starting to do it on Madrid. I think if they just had gotten slightly better track luck, that they really could have swung it back way better.
All right, and it looks like we will be having an interview with a Waterloo player in just 1 moment. That was a great prime time.
I think it was
entertaining. Yep, and here we go. We are with the University of Waterloo's captain, Pickley. Pickley, how are you doing after that match?
Tedbear, we are on an all-time high right now. You don't understand how exciting the adrenaline rush through our veins, you know? I'm going to say it's the first time Waterloo has ever been in CKL, and I think we're putting on quite a good performance. Wouldn't you say so, Tedbear?
You are putting on a great performance, good sir. You and your teammates have been doing amazing. Especially with week 1, starting out with a solid 2-0 over the top seed FIU and Oklahoma. Kind of take me through it. Obviously, you have yourself, you have Boss Yoshi, you have Iona and Ingite, but you also have a lot of other players kind of inexperienced. Take me through kind of, I guess, that, not discrepancy, but that difference in lineup strength and how Waterloo's been able to handle it so far.
A team is as strong as their weakest player, Tedbear. I believe that everyone in our line, obviously we have some highs and some lows, but ultimately we play as a team, and therefore the strongest players have to balance out the weakest players as well. Is it tough to manage the discrepancy? Absolutely. Sometimes it is, but we will try our best to make sure that everyone's doing the role. Mordai, for example, he was the MVP of that war, I would say. If you didn't notice, he held maybe 5 blues. He pulled maybe like 4 shocks. Without him, we definitely would not have won such a war at such a discrepancy per se.
We may not have been able to see those blues being held from that perspective, but we did see those shocks come out into play, especially Ingite's shock dodge on Snowland in
Dodging in
third place. Yeah, incredible performance by you guys so far. As you kind of look forward for the rest of the season, kind of take me through the mind process. Obviously, as you said, you guys are you're riding a really high wave as you're making a giant splash in Division 1. How do you look to maintain that momentum going forward?
Yeah, no, it's scary. We're just trying to do the best that we can. Obviously, we're trying to set up gathers, scrims, friendly matches, just to make sure that the newer players get experience before we throw them into these tournament lineups. But shout out to Spoons, shout out to North Step, shout out to Ruth, have been absolutely improving at massive rates so far. It's been very impressive to see. And as for the other teams in the tournament, FIU very strong, OU obviously very strong, but we also have our eyes on Michigan, of course. We think that they are probably the strongest opponents that we are going to face, and we are a little bit scared to play them, but I think we could buckle down and we could try our best.
Yep. And joining you, Pigley Sir, is your teammate Mordai that you pointed out. In your opinion, the MVP. Mordai, hello. Welcome to the broadcast booth. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. Thank you.
We heard from your team captain here that even though we didn't get to see your perspective, a lot of those shocks from Waterloo's end, a lot of blues being held was from you. Obviously, as you're playing with these immensely strong players, as someone starting out, kind of take me through your mind, your thought process, and how you're doing your best to contribute into these wars and matches.
That's right. That's right. It's actually terrifying to be playing with people of such good levels. But
Ain't that the truth?
it's quite cool to see all their strategies into play, listening to the talk and lingo of the high level people, and at the same time still being able to help because I'm back there pulling the shocks and the blues.
Yep, I would say the item pulls from Waterloo today was a massive factor in their victory, and that definitely came from you. I'd say that was a great effort on both of your ends. Congratulations on this good win.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tedbear. Thank you very much for hosting us as well. It was an absolute blast, and we hope to have more primetime streams in the future for everyone in the CKL server.
We would love to have you guys. We would love to have more teams. Quick shout out to our very own Angle, our stream host. Thank you so much, my good man, putting in that silent work. This would not be possible without you. Wisp, do you have any questions to ask these fine gentlemen?
No, I don't have too much stuff. You kind of covered everything, but yeah, again, for anyone watching and worried about team play and hey, how good am I doing on my team? I feel like Mordai's stuff of pulling blues and shocks and all of that is a great example of why Indiv score never tells the full story. Because if you are able to pull shocks and pull blues, you are just as valuable as the person that is running the races, staying in those top 3 spots all the time. You are just as valuable as they are because you're playing, even though it's a very different role, it's just as important. And I feel like a lot of people that do a lot of team play stuff, they don't realize it because they're just saying, oh, big number means I do good. No, it's just how did you get that number? What did you do for that score? And if you did it by bagging and getting blues and shocks for your team, it's that's why you're a pretty important asset to that team.
Absolutely, sir.
But that is all I got to say. Good stuff, y'all.
Yeah, good stuff. Anyways, thank you very much, Tedbear. Thank you very much, Guide Dog, as well. It was an absolute blast.
It's also known as Wisp. That's my main username.
Apologies, Wisp, but I cannot lie. I do have a Mogi that I have to chain, and I do have to get out of here. And,
well, thank you for your time, Pigley Sir, Mordai as well. Thank you guys for your time. Thank you, viewers, for watching the stream. We hope you enjoyed another rendition of CKL Primetime. I have been Tedbear, joined by Wisp. We will see you guys next time. Goodbye.
Goodbye, y'all.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.